Hey guys, and welcome back to Sorenus Mods. Today we're going to be checking out an amazing mod known as the Auto Switch mod for Minecraft 1.5.2. This is created by the Bombzen, and it adds a very cool feature that, you guessed it, automatically switches your tools and weapons in Minecraft. Now all you have to do to enable these sweet on-the-fly functions is press Shift and then B, and it will open you into the auto switch options. Now unlike most mods where it has a little GUI built into the Minecraftian interface, this one actually opens up its very own Java tab that is of course labeled Auto Switch Options. Now the options within this mod are fairly simplistic, but let's go ahead and quickly run through them. Now the first is whether or not you're gonna even use the dang thing, but for modding purposes I'm gonna go ahead and leave that one enabled. The next is use worst tool. Now this does not mean that they're gonna hand you a shovel when you're trying to mine rock or anything like that. It is actually where you will use the worst tier of tool before the best. Now that means that you can save your sweet diamond tools for later, and you can use your nasty wooden tools first. Now the next and final of the first options is the use a sword to mine blocks. Now this one is for your wool, and I believe melons work as well, and this would allow you to use your sword to mine them slightly quicker. Now the next three options are very similar to the top ones, except it will enable these automatically whenever you open a new world. Let's go ahead and leave those ones on because they're pretty sweet options. Now the next four are your hotkeys. The first one is to toggle your auto switch on and off on the fly. Let's go ahead and put that as a T. Now the next is key that toggles use worst. Now that would be P, and the next use sword would be O. Now the key that toggles auto switch while held down is a very nice tool for when you're just quickly mining and you want to go and quickly mine up some sweet diamonds, and you just have a shovel on hand and it's in your inventory and you just want to quickly pull it out but then quickly turn it off later. All you have to do is set one to auto switch that, and the normal I believe is V for that, the default. But let's go ahead and go with the bottom description. To disable any of the toggles, set them to something that doesn't exist, like ABC. So let's go ahead and run in like 17QX47. Why not? That is a perfect letter right there. I'm pretty sure that's a part of the alphabet, probably the 48th number. But let's go ahead and head on over to the next side of these options. The first of these is the debug. Now of course this is only used for when you're actually bugging out on the mod, which I haven't yet seen a bug for this mod. It is a very well put together mod, so in case you do end up getting a bug, go ahead and click that, and it is a very helpful tool. Now the next of these options is for your enchantments. Now this first one is use standard tool when available. That means that if I'm having a shovel and I have a random modded shovel, then it will of course use the standard tool first if it's even available. Otherwise it's just gonna leave you with your fists to punch that tree. Now the next is Silk Touch does not work block IDs. Now this seems pretty strange, of course. It sounds like alien language, but let's go ahead and show you through how to do this. This means that if you don't want Silk Touch to work on certain blocks, then go ahead and add the block ID by clicking that and entering the value and clicking OK. Now you could remove certain IDs whenever you want, and the default ones that are included is 1 and 13. I don't remember what those block IDs are, but I'm pretty sure it's important, so let's go ahead and leave them on in there. Fortune is very similar to the first one, and specific tool overrides is a very cool different addition, which means that you can add tools to break down certain blocks whenever you want. Say you actually do want to break down stone with a shovel, you can go ahead and add the stone value right there, and it will auto switch a shovel instead of the pickaxe for you. Now the enchantment selector order is pretty default, and I wouldn't mess with this unless you really add some enchantments that you wanted to use later. Now the Silk Touch would be number 1. It will use your number 1 Silk Touch pick before using your fortune, efficiency, or unbreaking, and the overrides would of course be for in case you want to break down stone with Silk Touch, you can go ahead and enter that block right there, and the enchantment order. Now the next is the selections for the swords. It is very similar to the top one. Now the weak block threshold is of course to enable when you're breaking down a weak block, which I wouldn't suggest to mess around with. It's pretty standard right there, and that would be, of course, it's not going to change it whenever you have just a weak block that you can break with pretty much anything, which would mean like glass. Glass would be something that you wouldn't really change a tool for just to break down, and that's a very helpful tool as well. Now you can disable any of these while mining or fighting mobs, both in single player or multiplayer. Now if you don't know what any of these means, you can go ahead and head on over to the Bombsins mod thread, which I'll be leaving in the download links in the description below. Not the download links, just the normal description. I've gotten so used to saying that whenever I'm adding the description. So yeah, all you have to do is that. Now I'm sorry if it's lagging out a bit. Unfortunately, because of the different interface of the options, I have to go in windowed mode, which apparently my computer really doesn't like me to do that. So let's go ahead and turn off creative mode right here and try this sweet one out. As you can see, I have a completely nothing inside of my hand, so let's go ahead and start breaking that down. But as you can see, it starts to use different tools as I go, and I don't have an iron shovel out here. Oh darn, I'm gonna need that. So as you can see, it is a very fast changing. It can change pretty dang fast on the fly, and you can break down all sorts of different blocks right next to each other at any time, anywhere. It's a great mod, and I know you guys will love it. So let's go ahead and test on our sweet cow test subjects over there. I'm so sorry, cows. You are going to be really regretting pasturing over here because you're about to die. Poor guy. So let's go ahead and as you can see, I have my dirt block in my hand, but as soon as I click him, I'm gonna pull out my sword and beat the crap out of this dude. Now I get my sweet leather and my delicious raw beef. Alright guys, have a fantastic day. I will be leaving the download links in the description below, both for Skydaz, the amazing free installers that make your installing experience so much easier. Have a fantastic day, and remember to like and subscribe. Remember to tell your friends, because everything is better with friends, proven by cows, or the surviving one of course, because we murdered his brother, but he's still pretty good pro on friendship. Now have a fantastic day guys, and I will see you guys for the next episode later. Thank you so much mod creator, not the mob creator, and thank you so much for creating such an epic mod, and I will see you guys for the next episode later. Goodbye.